Have you ever had that feeling that your whole life could collapse, yet you couldn't quite see how? As if every gesture, every word, every look was hiding something you weren't ready to know. I never believed that could happen to me, until I realized that nothing was as it seemed. My name is Emily, I'm 28 years old, and for 6 years I believed my marriage with Ryan was solid. We had a comfortable apartment, plans to travel, a stable routine, and shared dreams. I thought I knew every detail about the man I loved, but life taught me the hardest way possible that trust is not the same as safety. I spent years building the illusion of a perfect home, an unbreakable love, never imagining that the entire foundation was about to crumble. Every smile, every promise felt secure until small cracks began to show. Ryan had a nearly sacred routine. Every Wednesday night he said he was going to play soccer with his friends. At first I thought it was normal. He needed to unwind, socialize, stay healthy, and I supported him without question. But little by little I noticed small changes. He came home late, smelling different, a strange mix of perfume and something else I couldn't define, as if he had been somewhere else. His phone messages were deleted instantly, and he grew nervous whenever I asked about his night out. My heart tried to ignore it, but my mind refused to let me lie to myself. Every detail I tried to rationalize screamed that something was wrong, and that constant doubt began to eat away at my peace. Then one day, something unexpected happened. Michael, Ryan's friend and soccer teammate, pulled me aside. He looked uneasy, glancing around before speaking. "Emily, I really didn't want to get involved, but you deserve to know the truth. Ryan, he's not playing soccer every Wednesday. He's seeing another woman." My world collapsed. Every word he said pierced through my chest like a blade. I tried to deny it, to believe it was a mistake, but the honesty in his eyes left no room for doubt. My body trembled, my knees nearly gave out, and for a moment I thought that revelation would kill me from the inside. The trust I had placed in Ryan disappeared in seconds, leaving behind only a void that seemed impossible to fill. In the days that followed, paranoia consumed me. I watched every move Ryan made, every call, every text, every hour he spent away. I noticed things I had ignored before: his absent smile, the distracted touch when he hugged me, the lack of attention during dinner, and at the same time, I couldn't help but feel a strange mix of pain and relief when I spoke with Michael. He was the only one who had told me the truth, the only one who saw things clearly. We started getting closer, at first just to talk, to vent, but gradually the connection deepened. Every conversation made me feel alive again. Every shared laugh seemed to erase months of silent pain. I found myself imagining impossible scenarios, questioning my morals, my love for Ryan, and feeling desperately drawn to Michael. I remember one night we went out for a walk after having coffee. The cool city breeze eased the tension we both carried. Michael held my hand so naturally that my whole body shivered. I caught myself remembering Ryan, how warm and confident his hugs used to be, and how distant everything felt now. "Emily, I know you're confused, but I feel something for you I can't ignore," he said, looking into my eyes. My heart pounded unevenly, torn between guilt and desire. Every fiber of my body was on alert. Every thought circled around impossible choices. That night felt like a magical veil where everything was allowed except the reality I knew. Our meetings grew more intimate, not just physically, but emotionally. We talked about dreams, fears, childhood memories, teenage disappointments, and past heartbreaks. Michael laughed at my jokes, held my hand when I felt vulnerable, made me feel alive in a way I hadn't in years. And yet, every stolen kiss, every secret touch came with a consuming guilt. I was betraying Ryan, but I also felt alive for the first time in so long. Every moment with Michael was a mix of ecstasy and torment, a collision of desire and regret that made me question every principle I once believed in. Then came the twist. I realized I was pregnant. The shock was immediate. Not with Ryan's child, but with Michael's. My body trembled with fear and anxiety. How could I tell the truth? How could I face the guilt, the shame, the fear of destroying everything? I spent sleepless nights staring at the ceiling, imagining reactions, rehearsing words I could never say. With each passing day, the future felt darker, and I knew our choices had led us down a road with no return. Each time I felt the baby move, a mix of love and dread overwhelmed me. The weight of responsibility and guilt crushed me, and I wondered if I could ever forgive myself. Meanwhile, Ryan started to notice. My distracted look, my nervousness, the way I clutched my phone. The tension at home became unbearable. Every conversation was loaded with unspoken words, every silence filled with meaning. I felt suffocated, torn between the fear of losing everything and the forbidden thrill of still feeling in control. The final confrontation came one night during a dinner I had prepared, my failed attempt to restore a normality that no longer existed. Ryan saw through me. He noticed my trembling hands, my nervous tone, and without realizing the depth of the truth, he confronted Michael directly. The air was thick with tension, words cutting sharper than knives, glances full of pain and betrayal. Every second lasted an eternity. The ending was tragic. In a desperate attempt to fix things, Michael and I decided to meet outside the city to talk. But fate was cruel. A sudden car accident took his life instantly, destroying every dream I had left. Ryan left me soon after, broken and furious, and I was left alone, carrying the guilt and a child who would never know his father. The pain was unbearable. Every memory punished me again and again. I realized that even if love once existed, my choices had sealed a cruel fate for all of us. I learned, the hardest way, that once trust is broken, the price is high, and the pain merciless. Wrong choices can cost everything we love, and sometimes the punishment doesn't come from the world, but from within ourselves. If you made it this far, leave a like, subscribe, and tell me, what would you have done in my place? Because stories like mine remind us that life isn't always fair, and that trust is too fragile to be broken without consequences.